guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Crystal and today we're going to do a little bit of a different video for my channel. We're going to go through 7 daily habits that I do every single day that have literally changed my life. I know that we're all experiencing a difficult time during this whole pandemic, and a lot of us have had our lives completely uprooted from what we originally perceived our lives to be this time of the year. So I have implemented a bunch of new things that I do every single day, and I feel like it really has made a difference on how I'm coping with the situation, and also moving forward how I will be able to deal with other stressful situations such as this one. Although it's really hard to measure them against one another, like regular stress versus pandemic stress, I do still think the things that I'm going to talk to you guys about today are very much relevant for normal everyday life. But before we get into the video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and go and follow me on Instagram as well. I will have my handles on the screen for you guys to go and check me out over there. And without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so I have decided for my channel moving forward that we are now going to do one video on a Monday about spirituality, and then a video on a Saturday about beauty and makeup. I want my channel to be a bit more diverse in terms of what we produce here, because spirituality is very much something that I'm super passionate about, as is makeup. So that's where I think I want my channel to start gearing towards. So hopefully that's something that you're interested in. If it is, please do subscribe to my channel like I've already mentioned, and we will be doing videos based on spirituality moving forward consistently. So keep an eye out and make sure you have that notification bell turned on. So diving into the first daily habit that I now do since this whole pandemic has kind of really lodged itself into our lives is daily gratitude practice. So every single morning, the first thing that I do when I wake up, my alarm goes off at 7:30 at the moment, and I literally in my head list off 3 things that I'm super grateful for. So I know that usually one of the first things that comes to mind is I'm so grateful for my partner. My partner and I have been together for 8 years. We are planning on getting married next year in March. Fingers crossed, if the whole pandemic thing does kind of sort itself out by March. I think it will. Victoria should be able to get on top of things by then. Like, I have confidence that it will. But I usually am quite grateful for him. I'm grateful to have a roof over my head, and I'm grateful for the fact that I still have a consistent job that I love, and I am still working there, and so many people have unfortunately lost their livelihoods. I'm lucky enough to still have mine. So I practice gratitude for that every single morning. And if my gratitude shifts that day or whatnot, I practice gratitude for that as well. So I think it really does set your mind up for the day for a positive frequency. So this is something I'm going to talk about in my spirituality series, is talking about frequency levels and release of energy and the energy that comes back to you. So the law of manifestation, so the law of attraction, manifesting your desires, all that sort of stuff. I am going to be covering off on all of those. I will be doing manifestation probably in my next spirituality video, so keep an eye out for that one. But gratitude practice is very important in terms of raising your frequency and releasing positive energy, because like I said, the energy that you put out into the universe will come back to you. So if you're constantly thinking negative things are going to happen. So that's the first thing that I like to start my day off with, right before my coffee. So I like to drink at least 1.5 liters of water each day. This is a habit that I am finding really hard to keep on top of, but I literally make myself consume at least 1.5 liters each day. So I have my pump bottle just here. It's cute, it's pink. It was flavored once upon a time, but it just holds water now. So this is a 750ml bottle. I try to make sure I get through 2 of these a day. I just ensure that I try to get at least 1 down before 12 o'clock and then a second one down in the afternoon. Doesn't matter when I get the second one down, as long as it does happen in the afternoon before I go to bed, because I do think that hydration is super important. I never used to care about it. Once upon a time, I was just like, whatever, like I can just drink Pepsi, it's the same thing. Stupid mentality, first of all. So bad for you. But water has so many benefits, not only physically but mentally as well. So I definitely recommend making sure you try to get water in every single morning before you have a coffee, before you have a tea, or any kind of diuretic that's going to actually dehydrate your body further, especially if you're a super active individual like me. In saying that, I have gained weight since the pandemic, but I am a super fit, active person. I like to work out as much as I possibly can, because it makes me feel good. And water is so important in terms of muscle recovery, and also like your brain neural networks replenishing overnight. So there is neural decay that happens as you age. Water is actually going to help you to sustain those neural networks and obviously keep your memories and keep yourself on top of things mentally for longer. So this next one is really important to me, and I'm actually going to do a separate video on this. So scripting your desires. So this is touching on manifestation, but scripting's a little bit more specific. So there's different types of putting your energy onto paper. So there's journaling, there's scripting, there's visualization, there's visualization boards, or I don't know, goal setting boards that people do. And everyone does this in a different way. People that are engaging in this kind of manifestation, like law of attraction, there are different ways to do it. There are heaps of people on YouTube that talk about it. I'm super passionate about this right now, if you can't tell. So I honestly think that scripting has changed my life, and I am going to do a video in the next week or so about scripting, because I started scripting. I actually have the dates here. I have receipts. I started scripting for the first time on the 29th of the 5th. No, the 6th, the 29th of the 6th. So that was the very first time I did scripting. I had no idea what I was doing, and I got better at it. It took me about 3 or 4 goes to actually get it accurate in terms of how to script and really make things happen. And honestly, one of the things that I was scripting, which I didn't think would happen for a long time, happened within 10 days. And not only did it happen, it was something that was financial, but quite a huge life jump as well. I managed to get that thing in less than what I thought, like financially, less than what I thought I was going to have to pay. So I am such a believer right now in scripting, and I'm going to do a video on it, but it's something that I do every single day. I do it Monday to Friday. I don't really do it on weekends, which is probably a really bad practice, but I am going to start doing it full time. But you've got to get onto it. You need to look up videos on scripting, because it will change your life. Trust me. So diet tracking. So I feel like I stopped diet tracking for a while, and now this can be a trigger warning for some people. So I count calories. That's just how I work. I'm a numbers person. I like to track my calories. I like to track my performance. I like to track my money. I like to track everything, especially if I can put it in a numbers figure. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's more to do with my business mindset. I like to see growth, and calorie tracking can be really, really bad for some people, especially a younger generation, but for somebody like me, it keeps me accountable. I'm very careful with how I do things. So I will say to myself, I am allowed to have 1,600 calories a day. I will eat all 1,600 calories. I won't be like, oh, I've got 1,600 calories today, but I'll only eat 800 of that. That's not how I roll. I will eat everything that's dedicated to me, and that's because I'm very big on fitness and training, and I do think that what you put in your mouth, you get out in terms of your training, and you can see it in your physical self. So I am very much about diet tracking at the moment. I track everything that I eat. I'm really into my fitness and lifestyle. That's why I want to shift my YouTube channel a bit more to things that I'm super passionate about. I love makeup, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love it, but there's so much more I'm passionate about as well. And there's so many things that I want to talk to you guys about. So I'm going to shift this channel a bit more to lifestyle versus just makeup, because I feel like there is so many more topics that we can talk about, like finance, we can talk about fitness, we can talk about diet, fashion, all that sort of stuff. So for me, diet tracking is really important. So that's another life-changing daily habit that I do. I also, this is a bit of a weird one. I like to talk to myself. I like to tune in with myself to see how I truly am feeling. So I'm not masking any bad energy subconsciously that could be affecting the way that I'm performing at work or just feeling every day. Why I would feel lethargic and stuff like that normally is because you're holding on to something in your mind, and it's festering and it's affecting you on a subconscious level. So I like to talk to myself, to tune in, to be like, okay, you're feeling a bit off today. What could potentially be causing that? And it can sound a little bit weird when you put it like that, but I usually do it in a private setting. When I'm getting ready in the morning, I might talk to myself a little bit. When I'm getting set up for the day at work, I'll talk to myself through the day, like what I'm hoping to achieve, what I want to do. And I just tune in with myself on that level to see if there's anything in there that's actually bothering me, that's blocking my ability to be my best self. So I do that daily, and I really do think it's made a huge difference. So again, this is kind of this next one is kind of connected to the diet tracking. It's making exercise a priority. So because we're at home now, and in Victoria, we probably will be home for quite a while based off our case numbers. Literally all the gyms are closed. I'm living regionally at the moment, so it's not closed for me, but it could potentially in the future if the cases continue to rise. But I like to go for a run every single day just to get my basic steps in, because when I was working in the office, I get up in the morning and I'd walk to the train station, and then I'd walk from the train station to work, and then in my lunch break I'd go for a walk down to the shops, and then when I'd finish work I'd walk to the train station, and then I'd walk from the train station to home. So there's actually a lot of steps that are happening in there subconsciously that you wouldn't even be thinking about because you're just going about your daily business. But when you're at home and you literally don't move at all, like you could go for a run or you could do exercise, but you're only just meeting a basic bench line of movement. So what I like to do is go for a run every single day, and then I try to go to the gym and lift weights 3 to 4 times a week. That's my goal. So I make that a priority. If people are like, oh, let's go out for dinner and stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, sure, we can go out for dinner, but like it has to be after I've gone to the gym, or I'd have to shift my gym sessions around. I wouldn't just go, oh, I've got other plans now, I'm not going to go to the gym, I'm not going to bother. That's not how I roll. Mental and physical health are very much interconnected. So you might find that if you're mentally not in a great place, you might be starting to gain weight or lose weight. It can go either way. So really it's important to be focusing on something that you can control, and one thing that you can control is whether you go for a walk, or whether you go for exercise of some kind, or start lifting weights, or anything along those lines. And if you are able to control your external self through exercise and making yourself feel good with endorphins, and I don't know, maybe losing weight or gaining muscle, or looking at yourself in the mirror and feeling really good about what you see, that is in turn going to start having a shift mentally. So honestly, you look into it, the mind-body connection, it's actually a really extensive part of psychology. I did an undergraduate in psychology, and it is a huge component of how to deal with anxiety and depression. There is a direct link between physical self and mental self within those categories of anxiety and depression. If you do find that you are a highly stressed person, might not classify as anxiety per se, but highly stressed, it's something that you can work on, and you might find that something as simple as just making yourself go for a walk in the morning, getting up early and going for a walk, can really, really help you manage those things. So the last thing that I do on a daily basis that really has changed my life is meditation and mindfulness. So I use the app Smiling Mind. It's really, really popular. A lot of people are using it at the moment. It's free from the App Store. None of this is sponsored by them whatsoever. I'm not a big enough YouTuber to be sponsored, to be perfectly honest. So I mean, everything that I say is exactly as it is. But I use Smiling Mind. It takes you through all the mindfulness meditation processes. It's really simple to use. It's very calming. Honestly, I couldn't recommend it enough. There was actually a girl from my office that I work in, well, when we were physically in the office, who recommended it to me, and honestly, I just love it. Also, if you are super interested in, say for example, a podcast that really talks about breaking down mentality and understanding why you might be stressed or things like that, there's a lady called Kat John. She has a podcast on I usually do it through Spotify, but she is fantastic. She has literally changed my life. She calls you out on things that you might do in your day-to-day living, and basically makes you think about how that has come to be. Like, why have you acted in that way? And basically to pull yourself up and go, wow, I'm acting out of my ego, I'm not acting out of my true self. And learn to understand your cues, learn to understand when you are not coping, and what to do to kind of settle that down. So that kind of directly connects to the mindfulness and meditation that I just mentioned. I literally do those two hand in hand. So I might do some meditation and mindfulness in the morning. I usually just lie on the floor wherever I am, it doesn't matter where, and then I will listen to Kat John in the afternoon when I'm going for a walk, because she's just so fantastic. So honestly, it's been life-changing. I feel like I've talked about a lot of apps and stuff in this video, but literally these 7 things have changed my life. So I officially went into lockdown in Victoria in March. I remember the specific date. The last date that I was in the office was the 20th of March, and it's now, what are we in, August? We're in August now. So it's been a really, really long time, and I really struggled when I first shifted into this setting of normal, I suppose, and these things really have changed my life. So I've been doing them for nearly 6 months when you think about it, so 5-6 months, and yeah, I honestly couldn't recommend them enough. I say these things to my friends in my daily life, and I definitely recommend you guys implementing them in your life too. So if you like this video, do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. I am going to be doing these spiritual kind of videos on a regular now. I'm going to be talking about scripting, the law of attraction, manifestation, meditation, all that sort of stuff that really does have an impact on your life and can really change your everyday living. So I am really passionate about it. Like I said, my background's in psychology, so I very much do care about this sort of stuff. So I am going to be talking about it more on my channel. So do not forget again to subscribe before you leave if you like these kind of videos, and have your post notification bell turned on. And again, thank you so much for stopping by. It's been great talking to you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks guys. Bye.